Oh, hi. I guess it's been a while, eh? I mean, it certainly feels that way. I even had plans that got changed around a bit, but these were good things that happened, so at least there's that. Anyway, I had like a March TBR and I had an April TBR, which I never actually got to tell you about because that just didn't happen, just like my March TBR didn't happen. Let's take a few minutes though and talk about what actually did happen. What have I been reading over the past couple of months? Now that we're getting settled back into this new place here, I feel like I could actually start to get back to a regular schedule. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what I have actually read over the last few months. And it's a small pile. It feels small for me, but you know what? That's okay. That's coming right up here on Drew's Book Reviews. Alright, let's talk about the books that I've read over the last couple of months for both March and April. Let's see how things went, what I've actually read, and how that's going. So let's take a look at that. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of any of these books below or in this video. So of course, as always, now first thing I want to say is, one of the viewer's choice books, Malice, which I'd put up for March, I haven't even gotten to yet, but I promise I am getting to it. So stay tuned for that as I finally get back into a regular routine. Like I said, I had a March TBR that did not happen, an April TBR that, well, quite frankly, did not happen. Let's talk about this though. Let's get this going, and let's talk about what I have read. So first off, of course, we had Secret Project number 2 by Brandon Sanderson, The Frugal Wizard's Guide to Surviving Medieval England. I'm pointing to both sides because I'm not sure what side I'm going to put that image up. I do have it on ebook. I'm waiting for the hardcover edition. I haven't got to filming a review of this one yet. I am considering what I might just reread it before because there's been so much going on in the last couple of months that I wonder if maybe rereading it first might be a better idea. But I do intend to getting a review out on The Frugal Wizard's Guide at some point. So this was kind of definitely came across as like the first one, very young adult or YA, but definitely more of a sci-fi fantasy blend mix twist going on with this one. And I did like it, I did enjoy it. Definitely I wouldn't put it up there with like Stormlight Archive as far as the greatest Sanderson works ever, but it was a fun read. And I'll just leave it at that until I actually get to my review of it, of course. But if you haven't read it, you will have the opportunity. I know they are being published by Tor. Not precisely sure when Secret Project 2 is going to go to Tor, but I know that is coming out. So if you're not part of the Kickstarter, you'll definitely have the opportunity to go ahead and read that. So let's talk about the physical books that I read. So I did continued on with Foundation Earth by Isaac Asimov. There's one more book in the Foundation series before I get to a full series review on this. With any luck, I can finish out the Foundation reread before the end of the month. But Foundation and Earth is when they actually go out of their way to find Earth and figure out where it is and what is going on with that. Foundation, again, being a future galactic world where it is so old that Earth itself has become legend. It is a classic of science fiction writing by Isaac Asimov, spanning thousands of years in a massive rise and fall of a galactic empire. I love this series. It is one of my favorite science fiction series. Next up is Academes Fury. This is the second book in the Furies of Calderon or the Codex Alera series. Yep, second book in the series. So this one takes place at the school, essentially, where our main character Tavi ends up and what the events that start happening and going on there. I am enjoying this series as well, not as much as the Dresden Files series, but I like the elemental magic aspect of this series and world that has been created within the Codex Alera. I'm looking forward to seeing how that continues to progress and where that goes from there, because this really is a fun and enjoyable read with elemental magic mixed in with that. Fire Furies, Earth Furies, Water Furies, so forth and so on, Wind Furies, and the forces that are basically clashing within this magical world of elemental magic. Fun stuff. So we'll see. I'm thinking of doing a full series review once I actually get through the entire Codex Alera. which I do read a lot of series, but I also like to do series reviews as opposed to individual book reviews. Sometimes I just don't have much to say about individual books in the series, but I'll have a lot more to say about the series as a whole as I get through them. I've also been continuing on my Sword of Truth reread, and I'm going to continue on with the Sword of Truth reread as we go throughout the year. So I did finish 2 Sword of Truth books on the reread, Temple of the Winds being one of them, and Soul of the Fire being the other one. So if you were to ask me 20 years ago what I thought about this series, I definitely would have said 5-star, but I think it's definitely been downgraded to 3-star now. For me, 3-star means something very different to different people. For me, it means I enjoy it. It's not for everybody. It's not like this great, awesome, amazing series, but it's still good and enjoyable read, and it's not bad. So that's kind of what 3 stars means for me. For other people, it means something different. But so far, I am enjoying my Sword of Truth reread with the Temple of the Winds and Soul of the Fire. Both had a pretty rapid conclusion with a lot of build up to the end, but that's actually pretty normal for Terry Goodkind's writing style. Definitively it is, and I'm definitely enjoying my reread of this series, and I look forward to sharing my thoughts on the series as a whole and my experience rereading it once I get through the entire Sword of Truth series for my reread. One of the other books I managed to read over the last 2 months for March and April was Going Postal. So this, of course, is another Discworld book, and as always, Discworld is hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Going Postal is this guy's given a second chance to redeem himself for all the crimes that he's committed, and he's put in charge of the post office of Ankh-Morpork, and he turns the whole thing around and makes it a legitimate, viable service again. And that's basically the whole idea behind Going Postal. Another fun and entertaining read with Discworld, as always, because you can never go wrong when you read Discworld, honestly. Discworld is just hilarious, and I always love how Terry Pratchett manages to make you laugh while making you think at the same time. That is definitely one of Pratchett's strengths. The last book on this list that I managed to get through over the last couple of months is The Fall of Shinar, the triumphant conclusion to the Shannara saga. So this was the final of all the Shinar books in the entire Shannara universe, a universe I've got to go back and reread from start to finish, because I absolutely love Shannara. The conclusion to this book left wide open for you to decide what our main character does at the end. And it's one of those things that made me go, oh, why did you have to leave me hanging there? Why did you have to leave me wondering what happened at the end? But in a way, that's also the fun part of it. It is the good part of it. The part that makes you go, yes, and complete the story for yourself. I love this series. I've got to reread it someday. I know Book of Shash likes the series as well. At least I'm pretty sure I've seen him mention something about liking it. If you're watching Chas and I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments below, but I'm pretty sure Book of Shash loves this series as well. And I hope to do a great Shinar reread at some point. One of the series on my list for reread eventually after I've done the Sword of Truth. And I've also got Dude and a few other ones, but anyway, I digress. Good book, great conclusion. Enjoy the Shinar world. Fantastic overall. So in total, I managed to get through 7 books in the last 2 months, which for some people is a lot, but for me, it honestly isn't. I'm usually reading anywhere from, over a 2-month period, I could read anywhere from 12 to 14 books is pretty typical for me. So a lot less than usual, but now that I'm getting back into a regular routine, I hope to catch up and get back to my regular amount of reading, so that I could bring you lots of great videos about the books and the books that I'm reading. So that's what I've managed to read over the last 2 months, and hopefully I can actually keep to a regular to be read going forward. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you thought down below. If you read any of these books, what have you been reading over the past few months? I look forward to hearing from you, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time on the next episode of Drew's Book Reviews. Until then, keep on reading. Bye!